celebrating 75 years.
Thanks for staying with us. In national news now, the FBI arresting an Air National Guardsman in connection with the leak of classified Pentagon documents.
Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon has the latest.
The Justice Department says that the arrest happened without any incident in Massachusetts. What's still unknown is whether anyone else could also face charges.
Today, the Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas Teixeira.
Just days after leaked Pentagon documents became widespread on Twitter, a suspect is in custody.
In connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information.
While the Justice Department is leading the ongoing investigation, the Pentagon says it too is taking the issue seriously and is reviewing who can access certain classified information.
It is important to understand that we do have stringent guidelines in place for safeguarding classified and sensitive information.
The Pentagon says that process includes the need to obtain security clearances and the signing of non-disclosure agreements.
This was a deliberate criminal act, a violation of those guidelines.
Because of the early stage of the investigation, it's unclear whether others in the chain of command could also be held responsible for the leak. But Massachusetts Congressman Jake Auchincloss says the U.S. first has to make sure the leak doesn't jeopardize Ukraine's defense against Russia.
How do we do our utmost as a nation to support the Ukrainian counteroffensive this spring?
Teixeira is scheduled to make his first court appearance Friday at the U.S. District Court in Massachusetts. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Thank you, Alexandra. Well, new developments in the fight over abortion rights. An appeals court partially blocking a Texas judge's orders, allowing a drug to stay on the market with new restrictions, but still allowing significant restrictions on the drug to move forward. So this week, access to the birth control pill, mifepristone, is in some cases will be limited. An appeals court ruling it will allow the drug to be used for up to 7 weeks of pregnancy, not 10, and it can no longer be sent in the mail. Patients must be supervised by a qualified physician over at least 3 office visits, reporting any adverse side effects. The risk of losing the pill sparking outrage and protests from D.C. to Los Angeles.
When women are enslaved and don't have control over their lives and their futures, no one is free.
The appeals court ruling expected to take effect Saturday and comes as Florida lawmakers are set to give final approval on a bill banning abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The Biden administration maintains that they will continue fighting this in the courts. The Department of Justice announcing today it will seek an emergency motion from the Supreme Court.
While we are experiencing excess water here at home, it's wildfire season elsewhere. A fire in Wisconsin growing just earlier today. The DNR saying the fire covering nearly 3,000 acres. Officials saying the cause of that fire remains under investigation, also saying the fire is mostly contained and controlled as first responders are monitoring the flare-ups. However, if the fire gets worse and evacuations are to take place, residents will be sent to a nearby community center. Wisconsin Department of Transportation also closing down Highway 12, which runs through the affected counties.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Bod Bedore. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, and back here at home, we have a lot going on in our Utah weather world as well.
Yeah, in the 80s one day and then 2 days later, snowing again.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I'm just waiting for locusts and frogs now. I think that'll complete the bingo card we've been looking for. But this is what we had this morning. Take a quick look at what was going on in Logan. A lot of snow going on. And Glenn, like you said, it was in the 80s just a couple days ago and dropping pretty quickly. A little snow total. Yeah, they got 4 inches of that in the few hours that it was going there in Logan. But you can see we also got some throughout a lot of the state. That northern part of the state getting a bunch of stuff, keeping our avalanche right around the considerable range right now. That's good news because it's been in the high range, so let's hope we can keep it down there. But with warm weather's coming up, who knows? And then we've got this, flood alerts. We know what's going on in northern Utah. We know there are floods, but there's a full flood alert, a flood warning going on right now. This is in southeastern Utah, southeastern Grand County, where Dolores River flowing into the Colorado River. So we'll be watching that. That goes on until Saturday. Blanding right now, another place where there's clouds in that darkness. You see, that right now is where the storm that we had in the north has been making its way into the southeast corners. So as you can see there, this is where we're really focusing most of our weather right now. That will be there in the morning as well and give you a little bit of rain in the morning, but then be clearing its way out. Let's take a look at what we've got, though. Tomorrow, we're going to have that thunderstorm outlook with the cold front that we've got coming in that lifts up that air and brings more of that electrical charge in there, gives you a chance. So be careful. Look at the temperatures that we have right now. You can see we are cool right now, which is good. We need that. We need to stay cool. And our temperature change, 26 than what we had yesterday. That's the difference in Salt Lake. You can see all across the state. St. George, 13 degrees cooler than what we had. Some of this good for the drought monitor. Look how much we changed in just a week. 31% of our state now with no drought. And the Wasatch Mountains, of course, got put into that. All that snow figured its way into that. But let's take a quick look at our futurecast and see what is going on. So you see we've got that in the eastern part that's going to continue on in the morning. We'll see that through the morning and continue that way. But then start to clear away a little bit. By Friday night, it's mostly just in that very eastern corner. And then boom, clears its way out. We'll see maybe on Friday night, maybe some scattered showers. We'll see if the system holds in. But then you can see Mr. High Pressure working his way in. That's what we're going to have Saturday into Sunday. And that's going to be kind of the bad news because temperatures are going to rise with that. We're going to see a good temperature rise above normal Sunday into Monday. So we'll have to watch out. Taking a quick look at our regional forecast right now, you can see that in northern Utah, we're going to be looking at highs much lower in the 51 for Salt Lake, but in the 30s along that Wasatch back there. It's going to be a little bit warmer as we go into the central part of the state, but still 40s, 50s is the norm there. And even as we go into southern Utah, 68 is as high as St. George is going to get through that. But temperature is going to be cooler, but they are going to be rising. I'll show you what I mean here. If we take a look at St. George, you can see as we go through that weekend rising back up, they're going to be at 81 by the time we get into Sunday. But then temperatures start to take that tumble again. That roller coaster makes its way down Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. We do the same thing along the Wasatch Front, but with that, coming into that Tuesday, Wednesday drop-off, well, you'll see what I got for you right here. Boom, there is a chance of rain coming in there. Good chance on Tuesday, slight chances Wednesday, Thursday. The temperature's going up, going down, so just keep an eye on all of it.
Yeah, keep tuned for that forecast because everything's changing constantly. Thank you so much, Bob. We appreciate it. Time now to switch gears with sports with Wesley Ruff.
Let's talk a little bit about delivering when it matters the most.
How cool is this? Red Rocks need a big comeback to qualify for the NCAA championship, and they got it. Utah comes up clutch tonight.